In the show that we call our lives, a lot of us experience a bunch of ups and downs from day to day, but sometimes ups and downs don't really exist. Sometimes they're just filler episodes. But how you use these filler episodes can greatly determine how the show plays out. Season 5, Episode 25, Take 1. What is good, everybody? My name is Jake, and welcome back to the One Take series, where we get one chance to reflect on the day, no second chances, no third chances, one take, and one take only. Today, not much happened besides the usual, right? Mainly focused on academics, and then one take is slightly popping off more than it usually is, right? Which is great. And then in terms of the other main thing I did, so I got 6 hours of sleep because for some reason my body was consistently getting 6 hours. However, I felt that I'd try for the first time to take a nap, and it benefited me pretty well. I was able to get up, I had some energy after that, and so it felt really good. At this piece, I think I want to just try and add like at least one thing each day, because obviously I know the weekend is coming up, so it's not going to be completely accurate. However, if we can add something like just Christ tomorrow, and then after the day after that we can do just gym, and then we can do like internship. It's not going to be exactly like that because, like I said, we're going into the weekend, and I think we're going to have more time to do things, which is really great. But ultimately, I do want to start. We are at the point where it's like, okay, we have settled in. Okay, it's time to stop going from doing academics all day and then sleeping and then recording this video diary, acting like I was productive, and actually time to keep going with all of these categories, right? I was not able to work today, simply put. I plan on probably working a little bit tomorrow, and I know I am going to put in some hours over the weekend so we can put a dent in this. I don't plan to obviously work like a total combined like 16 hours over this weekend. However, I do plan on, I want to make sure that I work enough to finish Big Brother 4. By the time that we get done with this weekend, this 4 should ideally turn to a 5. That is the goal. Because like I said, obviously I've been putting off watching Big Brother because I associate it with work, but I need to rewire my brain. Because initially, the idea behind Big Brother was that I do it whilst I work, right? So that way I'm knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. However, now because it feels like a project, I am essentially procrastinating watching something I like by watching things I don't like, by scrolling and doing all that stuff. So I think ultimately what I want to do with that is I need to replace it to where if at any point I am wasting time, I want to make sure that I am wasting it effectively by at least checking something done off the box that I need to get done, right? And if you think about it, I need to do some math because we are definitely behind in terms of Big Brother. So ultimately, if there are like, what is it? We need to think, because there are about like 30 episodes per season, roughly, maybe a little bit less, but we'll say 30, which basically means that there are 150 episodes total. Let me see. And so basically, if I want to catch up from season 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 6, 7. I'm sorry, I can't resist doing that. I love that meme too much. I don't know why. It's just funny. Okay, but basically, if I want to watch those 5 seasons, then essentially what has to happen is that I need to average about 1 to 2 episodes per day, which I know I have time in the schedule before. If I have time to waste that I am wasting like it currently, then I know that I have time to do that, right? It is entirely doable, but it starts with finishing season 4, okay? That is the most important thing. And I need to make sure that I get that done so that way we're actually on pace to watch season 10 when we get home from winter break. Let's see, the rest of them, I was originally going to meet up with someone for music today. Plans kind of fell through the cracks just because it was like too complicated. Probably going to reschedule at another point. Research, I plan on probably reaching out tomorrow morning saying, hey, I really appreciate the tour last week. Are you available next week in order to discuss what role I can either play in the lab or how I can I'd assist you, do like something like that. Like I said, we'll figure it out tomorrow morning. Let's see. Internships this weekend. I want to make sure is when we start to get done, and I want to start working on it tomorrow because I know I promised that I would start working on it today. So tomorrow we will start working on getting the portfolio completely finalized as well as getting the resume pretty much locked in. Let's see, and then obviously Christ and gym. I'll make sure that the first thing that I do tomorrow, before I even get up out of this room, well, maybe if I need to use the bathroom, but I want to make sure that before I leave for school tomorrow that I have at least read 1 chapter, so that way we could read 1 more chapter at night and then we're good to go. And then same kind of with gym. I want to make sure that maybe I like come home and I do it. You know, we'll basically find it out. But right now, the plan for tomorrow is basically get up. We study for a linear algebra quiz, then we study for a 1 p.m. quiz, and then afterwards in the afternoon we get done what we need to get done for assignments, along with just being productive, right? That's the theme of this weekend, is just keep being productive, and do the things that I've been putting off. So that's pretty much it for today. So what did we learn from it? Well, the first thing is that if you want to do, life is short, so if you want to make plans with somebody, go ahead and do it, okay? Even though there were plans that fell through the cracks, there was one guy that I wanted to meet up with, just for the sake of like catching up, you know. And so I kind of reached out to him, and so we were able to formulate a time next week where we were able to meet up, and I'm very hyped for that. So if you want to make plans, I mean, make plans. Like, who's really stopping you? That really only applies if you're an adult. Hopefully you're not like an underage kid that like can't go out because of like strict parents or whatever, but presuming you have free will, you know, just make plans because plans are fun. Number two is going to be the fact that if you don't feel like you have enough energy in the day but it's too early to sleep, take a nap, okay? Because, like I said, this combines up to 7.5 hours, which is technically a full night of sleep. So if 6 hours isn't working and my body wants to be stubborn and keep waking up at 6 hours for some reason, well, first of all, we need to locate the reason behind why I'm getting 6 hours. I'm assuming it's a combination of the fact that I work pretty much up until, like, I'm on my phone, like, obviously recording and stuff, like 1 hour before bed, right? As well as I'm working about 2 hours before bed, like kind of like I'm like breaking all these thresholds, as well as I'm probably not being hydrated enough, or / I'm being hydrated too much, because you know, it's a thing of like I need to find out why I'm actually going to, like, my body is stubborn on this 6 hours. However, taking a nap felt good, so if you feel the need to, take a nap, because everything feels better after you take a nap. So then number three, what should number three be? Yeah, okay. Number three should be, if you're going to waste time, waste it effectively, right? If you're going to go, it sounds like really weird because why would you waste time at all, right? But the thing is, like, if you need something relaxing to do, make sure you actually genuinely enjoy what you're doing in terms of the relaxing thing. Because, like I said, I easily could have knocked out a few episodes of Big Brother if I actually booted up Big Brother and forced myself to sit down or lay down and watch it, right? But the fact that I instead chose to just waste time and stuff by scrolling and playing a little bit of Clash Royale, just not worth it. It wasn't worth it. So use it effectively. That's all I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Cut.